You know? At my age, you don't know how many chances at the brass ring you're gonna get.
1, 2! Wait, what happened?
You know, the story between Dan Moff and Pat Buck is something I've never seen before. And as a broadcaster and commentator, I've seen a lot of stuff over the last couple years, but nothing like this.
I can totally see if people saw that clip and went, Pat's at fault. It was a referee that was crooked, but we have a lot of crooked characters here. Bobby Wayward comes to mind. But you can't take the law into your own hands, and you can't just do what you want, and just because something happened that you didn't like. It was my fault. It wasn't something I wanted to happen. It happened on my watch due to someone else. But Moff just can't let it go for some reason. Instead of refocusing his energy on opportunities I would have given him, he just took it out on innocent bystanders.
I wanted answers. Because I don't sit back and I don't take it. I fight back. I wanted answers right then and there.
The whole thing being screwed, listen, Anthony Bowens was basically screwed, but who came out to save the day at that moment? Pat Buck. Bobby Wayward screws Danny Moff. Danny Moff had Wayward beat. Where was Pat?
Okay, so you're telling me either Pat is that stupid or he was in on it.
You know, it's sad because Dan Moff, to me, used to be a father figure at WrestlePro. He used to be Mr. WrestlePro. I mean, him and Pat Buck were inseparable.
Look, when I first met Dan Moff years ago, I didn't like him at all. That was even before WrestlePro. I used him on events because he was so talented and so good.
If you look back, first of all, I don't think Pat Buck ever liked Danny Moff. I think Pat Buck was afraid of Danny Moff. I think Pat Buck used Danny Moff because he saw Danny Moff had more experience than Pat Buck, and Pat Buck saw that Danny Moff would be a good trainer for his school, so he used him.
I mean, for crying out loud, like, Moff was in Pat's wedding. And then, you know, I understand wrestling's a business, but, you know, Moff felt a little slighted, and we all saw what happened. He took out the ring girl. I mean, they tore up the floorboards at the Rawway Rec Center. I mean, they ruined the ring.
I took a ring girl out. I took referees out. I saw the writing on the wall. I saw the writing on the wall.
And then flash forward, you got the Rumble. You know, Moff was set to win that Rumble. Pat eliminates him. People get eliminated from Rumbles all the time. It's just a different ball game now. Moff's not the same. He's not the guy that shows up 4 hours early and stays till the last man leaves. You can't talk to him.
When Danny Moff shows up to shows, he doesn't show up before setup. Danny Moff doesn't set up anymore. He shows up before his match.
After Moff's madness, I prayed it was over. I went through hell with this guy.
Why continue? I beat him in my own game. He won up me in Moff's madness.
Oh my God! No. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Anyone can have a good night. Anyone can get lucky at any given moment. But that's not the end of it. That doesn't squash the beef. I mean, they had a cage match after that. And who outsmarted the owner?
It's when you outsmart him. That's what burns his ass.
Pat Buck is handcuffed to the cage! He's crawling! No! No! Yes! There's your winner!
When you get him, when you outsmart him and you make him look like a fucking asshole, that's what burns his ass.
This time, no more Moff's Madness rules, no more steel cage. I want Dan Moff in a barbed wire match.
Oh my God! Pat just killed himself. What? Pat just killed himself?
I did the cage match, and now it was my idea for a barbed wire match. I think we both have something to prove, and I don't really know what that is.
Ego. It's at ego now. It's at that point where it's all about ego.
If you win, I will never wrestle WrestlePro again.
Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me.
I brought something to the table that I know that I gotta be a man of my word if I can't beat him. I have to go away.
Does Pat Buck even know what he's getting himself into with a barbed wire match? I'm pretty sure this is like his peanut butter and jelly, man. Like, Moff's been here before.
Pat, joke's on you. There's nothing left to be said. I got you here. I pulled you in. Hook, line, and sinker.
I'd be lying if I said I don't regret doing this challenge.
When I'm bleeding, when I'm hurt, when the blood pours down my face, that's what I call home.
Maybe this is the house that Moff built. Maybe this isn't the house that Pat built. Moff was here first.
Moff's stronger than me. Moff hits harder. Moff's one of the few guys that has more experience than I do.
He would advise any one of his students not to do this. This is pro wrestling. He trains pro wrestling. What this match is barbaric. Danny Moff is barbaric. Danny Moff is gonna kill Pat Buck.
I mean, I know as a commentator, you're not supposed to take sides. You're not supposed to root for anybody. But, I mean, hey, listen. If you're asking me if I'm rooting for Pat Buck, for his survival, and the survival of WrestlePro, yeah, I think I am.
Friday the 13th. This all comes to an end. I destroy you. I remove you. I erase you.
I just think it's going to be one of those things. We're going to beat the crap out of each other. Everyone's going to like it. At the end of the day, we can find out who the real man is.
What you gonna do, Buck? When you gotta turn around, you gotta go home. When I carve you up real nice. What's your pretty little wife gonna think of you then?